Welcome, welcome. Oh, starting with drop frames already, huh? That's cool. Okay, right, well, let's just continue. As I said, because this is going to be a short, as I said in the end of the last stream, this will be a short stream, depending on how long my partner's business call goes. So we won't be listening to the audio stuff today. That will have to wait till tomorrow. Just going to play a bit of Act 4 Part 1, see how far we can get. Act 4, The Secret History of Time Travel. Ideally we'll get to the end of it, but I'm not hopeful. Not hopeful at all. There are the Kiwis. Thank you for the resub, Bell. I can't believe you're foolish enough to subscribe for a third month. You're 1/3 of the way there to a filled-in pixelated heart. Or you would be if you weren't using the first sub badge. I do appreciate it though. If I fun fact, Twitch take half the sub. So if you forgot again, oh, how dare you? How unlucky.
You took the one thing Mr. Serene needed to survive. Dr. Amaral.
I get two
that
more
made you
subs
priority
consistently.
one.
I can have a paycheck every 4 months.
They made that clear.
I think
Monarch lined
that's what I
every
would start
escape
at.
route with barricades, roadblocks. I had to get to the mainland, but I couldn't do it by car. Needed a new plan.
All right, let's go.
Beth, I think I'm gonna need a ride. The streets are too hot.
First collectible is right
where do
here.
you want me?
I'll let you know as soon as I find some higher ground and get a good look at the situation on the bridge.
You gotta jump
I think
for
it
joy
might be a no-go.
every now and then. Okay. I can't get over how blindingly white the poor screen is. That's the alleyway. How is everyone doing? Obviously, if you're looking, feel free to not say. I've got 6. Cool. One more Chronon source for next upgrade point. Yes, that's how the Chronon sources work, game. Thank you for telling me. Time start, time dodge. Oh, right, that's the tap the bumper. I like the shield because it's keeping me alive right now. Let's go with... Let's just boost the shield. Hi, Blood Rain! How are you? Very happy because it's D&D tonight. Good, good, Bell. Good, D&D. Just got out of doing some Scion myself and feels good.
Gotta get to higher ground.
That was a weird
I'm looking
edge
at the bridge
grab.
right now. It's a lot of Monarch. I don't know. Maybe you could sneak across?
Well, maybe.
Or I could pick you up. Let me know. I'm pretty exposed out here, so try to make it fast.
I'll be a lot better when you get me on that boat. Monarch's right on my ass. I'm not exactly making friends out here. How's Dr. Amaral?
Still kicking and screaming. How long do you need to get here?
That depends. Let me check.
Sorry, I just saw what the next collectible is, and I mean I'm tired because I've just run a role-playing session for like 2 hours. Oh.
Better get inside before the chopper spots me. Paul. What the actual fuck?
Solid delivery there. I've just seen what the next collectible is, and I am freaking hyped. It's another Alan Wake Easter egg. Oh, you're all going to be sick of me talking about Alan Wake, but I loved it so much. It was
Still there?
infuriating.
Yeah,
But it was so
just looking
good.
for a viewpoint.
Okay, strap in and watch. Oh, it's so good.
So, we don't know where he is. We can't find him. So we need to look into a replacement.
all ponies are made of butter in Night Springs.
There is always lots of the Kratzu things happening in Gitu of Night Springs.
Thank you.
All ponies are made of butter in Night Springs.
The actual.
We know the old dance, the fortunate and the destitute. The haves and the have-nots.
Ponies and
Those
butter,
who
interesting
dine at
combo.
the table
It
and
is.
those who starve in the street. But the tables can be but the tables can be turned. The gluttonous consumer may find himself the consumable resource. Do that again. And yet, that is the fate that awaits you in Night Fringe.
It's Night Springs.
Night Cringe.
Springs.
Bright Blings.
Night Springs.
Fright. Whinge.
Jesus.
We know the old dance. The fortunate and the destitute. The haves and the have-nots. Those who dine at the table and those who starve in the street, but the tables can be turned. The gluttonous consumer may find himself the consumable resource in Night Springs.
Right things.
I enjoyed that far more than I thought. So Night Springs is an in-game TV show that's just based on the Twilight Zone, and there are several episodes that you watch over the course of the game. Well, you don't have to. I did.
We still have no visual on Joyce or
Why
Wilder.
wouldn't I?
Doing another sweep.
I can't stay here long, Jack. You're gonna need to be quick.
Yeah, about that.
Bad news?
Recurring theme of the night.
Small bit of bad news.
I'm
Just
looking
a,
at the bridge right now.
just a small.
If I go anywhere near that thing, there's gonna be innocent people caught in the crossfire.
All right. Any bright
Thanks for your
ideas?
patience, folks. We'll have you on your way again soon.
Time to hold on to the underside of a lorry, I guess.
Let me see. There's a pier under the bridge. You should be able to meet me there with the boat.
Just gotta get to it.
Giant gas sign out front. Can't miss it.
It's nice and bright for Monarch to see.
I bet you
There's
got
not
any
a lot
better
of
ideas?
options. Switching to Monarch frequencies. Be in touch soon.
And I'll be there in a few minutes. Don't stand me up.
Well,
Okay,
that's
how are we getting down there?
kind of not missable.
Where's the fire pole?
For those of you just tuning in, the manhunt continues as authorities search for Jack Joyce, the suspect in last night's university terror attack. Joyce may also have been involved in a firefight at the Monarch Mansion on Gull Island approximately 30 minutes ago. On the line, we have Ken Bukowski, a bridge operator for the Port Donnelly Bridge. Ken, what can you tell us about the situation out there?
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my little guy. Hey, Ben, hope you're listening.
Isn't it past his bedtime?
He'll be up reading those Hunger Games books if I know him. But, yeah, I'm just out here in the control booth overlooking the bridge. Monarch's got a roadblock set up, checking all the cars as they go through. It's all very well organized. I got a nice young fellow from Monarch up here, Darren, doing some kind of lookout from above. He's not a coffee drinker, so there must be something wrong with him.
Just my little joke.
No, but we're in good hands. Even though it's not cops at the roadblock.
Yes, Ken, Monarch is working to assist the police in the hunt for Jack Joyce. I know some people have asked, does Monarch have the authority to do this? Well, my question is, if not Monarch, then who? I think we need to recognize that we are currently in a state of crisis. Why isn't Joyce behind bars? If the police are overwhelmed, then I say we take all the help we can get. Monarch is the only thing keeping this city safe. Am I right, Ken?
I guess that makes sense.
You bet it does. I suggest we stop asking why they're helping us and start helping them. But that's just me. We're opening the lines for your thoughts, Riverport, right after this.
Well, that was the thing. I just want to say it's transfer visibility, so, you know. We see you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hashtag trans is beautiful is trending on Twitter again, and it's great seeing so many people so happy being themselves.
We're helping the police looking for a terrorist. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Is that the guy who blew up the library? James Joyce? Jack Joyce, yeah. You see anything out of the ordinary?
Anyway.
Well, I mean, there's a sports car.
And I just want this to be a place where trans people feel welcomed.
Please, show me where. Right now.
Damn it. Better hurry.
Because if not here, then where? I mean, there are other trans-friendly places as well, obviously, but inclusivity, very important to me. As a non-binary person myself. Stutter! Sorry, as I said, I did like 2.5, 3 hours of role-playing, and my brain is mush. I'm trying, folks.
Alright.
Again, bright white pause screen. Forget every time. Cool.
Criminal? A terrorist
I'm
known
not
as
a terrorist.
Jack Joyce. Thanks for your continued patience. Please talk to one of our security personnel.
It's really
if you have
awkward
anything
delivery.
to report.
Also, I may have thought that Jack would automatically climb down the ladder, considering I had to press a button to get him onto it, but no. No, I didn't.
Somebody's sneaking around down there. Hey! I think that's Jack Joyce!
Aha!
No, 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 no!
That was a really awkward placement for a plank to be. Going back to the previous topic of discussion, however. Don't let anyone tell you who you are, be your true self. I'm just gonna do this. Because these guys are annoying. And I want this to be a place where people feel like they can be their true selves. Sure, I'll take the burst fire. I wanted the SMG actually, but I guess it's not to be. Anyway. Where am I looking? After you enter the pier gate, turn around and investigate. Okay, I guess I've got to get there first. Yeah, just start. And run at him. There we go. I got it to work in the end. Yeah, I'd shake my fist
plan to meet
behind that
Beth
as
went
well.
out the window as soon as the stutter hit.
Her boat couldn't get to you.
No, but it gave me an opportunity to climb up on the bridge and cross it. Slip right past Monarch, more or less undetected.
It's not letting me pick up weapons apart from pistols, I guess, is what's happening right now.
I should get up on that bridge and make my way across it before this stutter ends.
Yeah, but first I just want to see if I've missed anything. No, doesn't appear to be. It's really weird because there's no actual picture on the... This is one of the few instances on the guide where there's no picture of where it is. Push that guy out of the way. Don't mind me. Oh, could this be the gate it's on about? Real good at doors. There it is. I found it. Wow, 54% of the location of this collectibles grabbed already. Monarch Nightboard behind the car as you enter the road level.
Alright, that's it.
Anyone watching feels like they can think of a way I can make this feel more inclusive, please do let me know. It's not just for trans people, it's for people of all kinds. LGBTQIA+, skin colour, what have you. Ethnicities, that's the word. It's been a day, let me tell you. Or just interests and hobbies.
The scene on the bridge was unreal. They weren't cops. They had no authority to do this. But the Monarch PR machine had done its job. Here they were, the heroes protecting everybody.
And you were the terrorist.
Yeah.
So this is different if you pick the hardline option. Stop here for further instructions and coffee. Right, there's a... Oh, here it is. Have you seen these two? Charlie Woodcock, Fiona Miller. Sought in connection with recent terror events. Do not approach. Please contact Monarch Solutions with any information as to their whereabouts. Truck driver. They're having a selfie.
Listen, if you see him,
Jack Joyce, subject armed and extremely dangerous.
Just call the number, okay?
Okay.
It's even worse than my passport picture.
That's saying something because passport pictures are terrible.
Super cool, man. This is going on Facebook right now.
Well. Oh, I forgot I can do time vision to look at collectibles. Monarch field orders update Martin Hatch. Field orders update Martin Hatch. All field operatives be advised that Martin Hatch is now considered a compromised asset. All orders and instructions from him, new or existing, have been rendered invalid and have been countermanded. Please contact your supervisor for further information as required. Hatch is responsible for the destruction of vital medical supplies, involved in the deaths of numerous Monarch personnel, and may be collaborating with Jack Joyce. The investigation is ongoing, but Martin Hatch is to be detained with maximum force if encountered. If he cannot be captured, he should be considered a priority target who should under no circumstances be allowed to escape. Take no chances, he is considered to be extremely dangerous. This is a really short level. I guess that's why Act 4 has 5 parts. Four parts, sorry. And the junction, obviously. Current on source... Behind a car. Oh, it's there. At the end of the level, we will climb the ladder to the top of the bridge. Go to the top of the bridge. Okay. Guess I'll continue. Board. Loads of board. There's a shotgun. If the game will let me pick it up. Oh, that's a juggernaut. Man, I hope there's no one in that taxi. A very subtle way of saying you can't go backwards. Right, can I grab this shotgun, please? Oh, I've got the LMG still. Wow. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. running.
Thanks for the heads up.
And B. Okay, so they're all dealt with. I guess the car can blow up even though time has stopped. That doesn't logically follow, but okay. It doesn't logically follow that the bullets would continue to work as either, but there we go. Good to know. I thought there'd be solid cover and be safe in a stutter. Boy, was I wrong. Just skip the cutscene. Also going to save my ammunition on the LMG. Just going to swap over to probably the SMG and try to take out the mooks. Unlock secret content in the show.
Gotta move.
What? That was weird. Alright, there, both dead. Bum, 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 bum. Beam! Swap over to that. Charge. Not again. Sort of recharged. Oh, that car's just gone, huh? He turns real quick. No, not the SMG. The LMG. What? Ah, I may as well do the SMG now. How you feeling about them apples?
Okay, good. It's cool. Just gotta make it across this damn bridge and I'll be clear.
Cool. Good to know. Just leave those dead bodies, it's fine. No one cares. Oh, some popping. So that's it for part 1. Thought that would take longer. I will take the extra activation on time dodge. Oh, I've only got 5, goddammit. I guess I will not take the extra activation on time dodge. But that's all of the collectibles in part 1. Act 4-2. What just happened? Fine. Oh god, my browser's doing that thing where it's just reloading the page rather than loading the next page. See if that works. It worked. There we go. Seems to be the fastest way to move around the game. Oh, the sun has collapsed then. That doesn't seem good. That just seems like an obvious set piece. because like, if the stutters are time freezing, surely they're not generalized. Surely they're generalized, not localized. But it would have to be localized for that to work, for the ship to keep moving, but the bridge to not. So I don't know. Also, Jack's in a bit of a bind. Oh my God, he's doing the right thing.
This is so bad.
I knew I'd be dead if the stutter collapsed while I was in the frozen crash. I had to reach solid ground, and the deck of the cargo ship was my best bet. Just had to find a way down.
Drop. Time's a bit wibbly wobbly. You knew that joke was going to be made eventually. Don't deny you didn't. Where do I go? Where do I go? Ah, I see. Maybe?
Frozen crash was a mess.
Yep.
Somehow, I had to find my way across. Hope for the best.
You're not going to grab that ledge, are you, Jack? Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Frozen crash was a mess. Somehow, I had to find my way across. Hope for the best.
There we go. He grabbed it that time. I knew he could do it.
I kept heading downwards, towards the cargo ship.
This is really cool.
The route down wasn't exactly user-friendly.
Neither are platforming skills, Jack, but we don't...
Fracture was getting much worse. Timelines getting scrambled. Caught in violent loops, off sync. Crashing into each other. This was what the end of time would look like.
Nice boat. Hold still.
Everything was broken.
Come on, hold still.
In chaos. Frozen.
Okay. Come on.
And no one would know.
But you and Paul. And anyone on the lifeboat program. Protocol. Help! Help! I'm under a taxi. Sploosh.
Fracture was escalating. Objects were moving out of time, out of order, entire timelines overlapping. And it was going to get worse, unless we could stop it.
Oh, there we go. Back at the swimming pool.
Understand the power you're wielding. You need to hand this technology over to Monarch. I've prepared for what happens next.
You say you're prepared, but no part of this plan of yours involves stopping it from happening.
Even if I fix William's machine, what could you possibly hope to achieve? The end of time is coming. There's no way to—
Hey! This isn't a debate. I just watched a ship fast forward through a fucking bridge. Time
Okay, that
is
makes more
running
sense.
out, and the fracture's getting worse by the minute.
And it cannot be stopped. Paul has been to the end of time. He's witnessed it firsthand. Can't you see? We prepared for what's next out of necessity.
Your research is based on work by William Joyce. You respected him.
Shout out to Amy in
He
the
knew
background.
that the fracture would occur, but he also knew that it could be fixed. Will built a way to stop the fracture. This. The countermeasure. We're traveling to the past to retrieve it. You can help us get there faster.
The CFO, which Monarch has.
Or You can agree to disagree.
Also, the frame drops are in-game, not OBS for once.
I'll have to run diagnostics on the machine. I can't promise anything before that.
Amy, take Amaral to the machine. Keep an eye on her.
Sure thing. Okay, Doctor, let's go. And I can see right through you. Don't try anything stupid. You will regret it.
Yeah, she's feeling pretty used about now, which fair. That's the guy who's Animorphs.
Jack?
Yes, Brett, it is Sean Ashmore.
Before we head downstairs, we have to talk about something.
Also, welcome. But first, Beth, I need this. Beth 2010 plan. Beth charts and plans. Beth's charts and plans for the plan to travel to 2010 and steal the countermeasure. Names are hard. Yeah, I have a good memory for faces and names. But yeah, Sean Ashmore, he was also Iceman in the X-Men movies.
Hatch. This is the guy that visited me in the cell.
Yes, it is. Lance
Sounds
Reddick.
like Serene's onto him. According to Monarch Communications, Hatch sabotaged a Monarch lab.
He may be undermining Paul, but I get the impression he's not on our side.
No, because he's out for himself. Martin Hatch, what we know. Facts gathered by Fiona Miller so far. Joined Monarch 2001, became Serene's chief advisor around 2007. No records before 2001. Also, Brett, how you doing? Who was he? Where did he come from? Working against Monarch? Possible links to the following. Death of Dr. Kim, unconfirmed. Alone with Dr. Kim at time of death. Death occurred just as Kim was on the verge of a solution to Serene's time sickness. That is a sentence I just read aloud. University time machine sabotage, unconfirmed. Miscalculations on purpose. Hatch seen in lab. Assistance in Sophia's kidnapping, confirmed. Distracted Monarch while kidnapping occurred. Knew we were coming. Did not alert Serene. Destruction of Serene's remaining sickness treatments, unconfirmed. Was present outside Dr. Kim's lab when lab was destroyed. Accused Sophia of being responsible for this. Helped Charlie Wincott escape, confirmed. Currently helping Charlie reach Monarch Tower undetected. Disobeyed direct orders from Paul Serene. Wants access to CFR. Potentially desires to sabotage lifeboat protocol. Sabotaging Serene. Motive. Secretly assuring Serene's downfall. Wants to take over Monarch? Why? Sabotaging Monarch's survival plan from within. No possible reason for this. Doesn't believe countermeasure could stop Fracture. Not a potential ally. Works for Monarch, therefore believes end of time is inevitable. Then why attempt to sabotage lifeboat protocol? You're surviving? I guess that's the best anyone can really ask for at the moment. I'm just lucky I was used to working from home and long-term unemployed before that. Employees only room to the right of the thing. I bet I can't go in there until I talk to Beth. It looks especially fine. Thank you. I was having more of a fem day, so thought I'd let it down. Also, it was wet and needed to dry. And because I don't have the... yeah, I can't get in here just yet. Because I don't have the... I don't know what I was going to say. It doesn't need to be up, so... Oh, because I'm not where I used to be, where the monitor is kind of like here-ish, and it obscured half the monitor. I can have it down more often if I feel like it. Right, I need to talk to Beth.
Okay, what's up?
It's about the plan. If Amaral gets the machine working...
We go back to yesterday and undo all of this.
Listen. In the video Will left for me, he said the countermeasure was stolen from his workshop on July 4th, 2010. He also said I took it. Maybe I did, Jack. We have a time machine.
Oh yeah, this is the time machine, by the way.
We go to 2010.
Got a black hole at the center of it, don't question it.
If Will was right, that would mean it wouldn't be a change. We take the countermeasure, bring it to the present, fix the fracture, save the world.
Okay. Explain to me why that's a better plan than just going back to yesterday and preventing all this from happening in the first place.
Because I'm afraid that based on what I know about time travel, we can't change anything.
Hair strapped.
The past has already happened. We can't change it. But my way, we don't have to.
Yeah,
it's really
I don't
straight
know.
today.
I mean, my plan
weird.
still feels simpler. Let's just get the machine working.
Anyway. Now I can open this door.
Hello, Riverport. Well, it's been a rough
Hello,
night
radio.
for us. The collision at the Port Donnelly Bridge that has claimed multiple lives is still being investigated. At least a dozen people are confirmed dead, and investigators say they expect to find more bodies, some of which are predicted to be found in the cars at the bottom of the river. The cause of the accident remains unclear.
No doubt they'll
Adding
blame
to
me.
the confusion are conflicting reports from shipboard personnel and those on dry land. The captain of the cargo ship insists that the bridge was up and the route was clear. However, some people shoreside claim the cargo ship was approaching the bridge at high speed, despite the bridge having not yet been raised. Others express surprise at the ship's presence, claiming that they do not see its approach at all. The investigation is still ongoing. We'll keep you posted. Now, obviously, this disaster will affect us in more ways than one. With the Port Donnelly Bridge out of commission, heavy congestion is expected on the other routes across the river,
Not
and we now
congestion.
have reports coming in
Oh,
of
no.
multiple car crashes all over Riverport. So you will want to reserve enough time for your trip today if you're traveling by car. Stay safe out there. Hopefully we can all get back to normal soon.
Anyway, I'll stop looking at politics stuff on Twitter. Well, I've got nothing else to do while the broadcast plays. So
See
I just
how
keep
Dr.
checking Twitter
Emerald's
for some
doing with the
reason.
time machine.
Indeed, Jack.
Yeah.
Let's see how she's doing with the time machine. Beth, you have a loud voice.
I
Oh,
don't think
you're
we can
following
trust her. The way she looked at the countermeasure like she's seen it before, she knows what it does.
Think Will told her about it?
Nah, Monarch
No.
has it. Oh,
Will was never the
she's
kind to open up.
speedy.
I can relate.
Where's Amy? Oh, that's Amaral.
Did she find anything?
I'm not sure. I'll go check.
Yeah, but like, where's Amy? There's another woman in here. Right, well, I guess I'll grab that. While I'm here. Which gives me 6 upgrade points for that extra activation of Time Dodge. Hell yeah. That's Dr. Amaral. Amy is not.
Probably see how Dr. Amaral's doing.
Stop and go. Cool.
Jack, you've got to see this.
Oh, there you are. That's like just the voice coming from
Hey.
there.
Shouldn't you be keeping an eye on Amaral?
Okay, but first, you need to check out the intel I uncovered.
Then share with the class, Amy.
All right. What is all this?
I uploaded all the files I stole on that USB stick from the Monarch security station. I also found video of your brother. It's on that TV. You're gonna want to see it. Everything else I printed out and put on tables over there.
What up, Dominic Moynihan?
The date is. It's February 28th,
Jesus, Will.
1999. William Joyce.
1999.
After months
First experiment.
of arduous work, my machine is finally ready for human testing. Ready is defined by me, since ready is obviously a relative term when you're dealing with the deformation of the chronon field and
Yeah,
the
it is.
creating of black holes mass density by tangent. Okay, in short summary, I built a time machine and it works. I'm gonna prove it or die. Okay.
Just gonna prove
Make
it.
some final
Or die.
preparations.
That's fine.
When I enter the machine, I will travel clockwise around the corridor. Okay. Core is active. Chronon levels are stable. Travel clockwise around the corridor, exiting back into the same location in the near future.
Science words.
This clock is set to my watch. Now, when I exit the machine, there should be a significant difference in time between my watch and the clock in this room. Corridor is locked in place. Okay, setting the date to 5 minutes to the future for the first test. Now, admittedly, traveling to the past would be much more impressive. can travel backwards in time, only as far as the first activation of the machine's core, which is, well, now. Okay. Machine's ready. Monitor is stable. What I'm about to do is gonna change the very fabric. I don't remember.
That doesn't sound great, I'll be honest. Or look it, I suppose.
What's on the computer?
Monarch files I uploaded, and I kept the juiciest stuff on screen for you.
Just Sophia Amaral from Paul Marine. Paul Marine. It's not a bad screenplay. Paul Serene. Subject, Dream Journal 5, my 5th entry. I recall moving through a wheat field. Oh god, it's Theresa May. I recall moving through a wheat field that once belonged to my grandparents. I pressed the wheat stalks to the side with my hands, softly sifting through them at first, but as I pressed forward, the stalks began to warp and curl around my arms, providing resistance to my every move. The entire field began to solidify into an unbreakable material with my body entangled in the mess. I desperately tried to pull myself free, but every movement led to a burning sensation. I'd get that checked out, they have creams. The world desaturated, time stopped. I heard the unmistakable sound of my greatest fear approaching. Shifters. They emerged from all sides surrounding me. I looked into the distance and saw a blurry figure approaching. He tried to yell, but the words wouldn't escape his throat, instead transforming into an endless shriek pulsing through my ears. His every movement and sound transformed into an agonizing discomfort all throughout my body until it became completely unbearable. The pain trumped logic. I needed to make it stop. I needed to make it all stop. I grew violent, blindly lashing out at the figure, tearing him apart. I needed to destroy the source of motion and sound that caused me such discomfort. The pain stopped as I took the figure's life, and as he died, his identity became clear. It was me. I had become the very threat that I once feared. But I did not fear anymore. I felt something very clear, very pure. I turned around to discover Jack behind me. He didn't move, but I could somehow understand his intent. He welcomed me. Every misunderstanding, all the pain we had caused one another was forgotten. We were part of a higher consciousness. I heard a voice behind me. Dr. Kim. He joined us. He told me that time was once the fire in which we burned. He told me we would burn no more. Dr. Peretta, I'm attaching Paul Serene's most recent entry in his dream journal. I'm growing increasingly concerned with the meaning behind these dreams, but I need a second opinion. I can treat Paul's sickness. Really, as far as I can determine, the Cronon syndrome is more a metaphysical condition than an actual medical issue, but I'm a physicist. I'm very much out of my depth with all this. This exercise was meant to help alleviate stress to ease Paul's symptoms, but so far has resulted in the opposite. Time is of the essence. His condition is getting worse by the day. Dr. Sophia Amaral, Head of Research. Oh. Beth's just creeping, huh? Okay, right, well.
Hey, Amy. What am I looking at here?
I've been recording Monarch communications with the radio that Beth left me. I made a compilation of anything that seemed like it might be useful.
Transcript of Monarch communications. Com 1032, unknown Monarch personnel. HQ, come in, this is First Aid 1. We've got a situation here at the hospital. Over. Monarch Radio Commander, go ahead, First Aid 1. Over. Unknown Monarch personnel. It's a fucking mess down here at HQ. Burke showed up for his wife like we thought. Gibson intercepted him. Burke wouldn't come quietly, so Gibson drew on him, and, well, Gibson's dead. Burke strangled him with a power cord in full sight of half the hospital, so that kind of shit show. Over. Monarch Radio Commander, do you have the situation contained? Where's Burke now? Over. Unknown Monarch personnel, we're working the scene and wipe the footage, but Gibson didn't have backup, so who knows how many people saw the fight or where they are now. Same goes for Burke. He's in the wind. So's his wife. Over. Monarch Radio Commander, copy that, First Aid 1. We'll run with that on our end. Just tidy things up over there. Over and out. Yeah, it does, bastard. Toss. Like, you say that, but equally it tries to eat things. This would be something else, I guess. Lifeboat document. Yeah, that's on the list. That's on the list. Your hair looks fine anyway, Belle. Well, you know, based on the pictures on Facebook. and how whenever I see you in real life, your hair always looks nice. Memo, controlling the Riverport situation from Clarice Ogawa to field team leads. I know the situation is fluid, and things are progressing fast, but I want to reiterate our strategy for maintaining control over the city of Riverport. As you all know, we can't actually directly control the city. We don't have the manpower, and we don't have the actual authority. It's therefore vital that we maintain a good relationship with the media and the local authorities and have them do much of the heavy lifting for us. Ideally, everything we do should be either undertaken by the authorities under our discreet direction. I've lost where I am. Or in cases where we take action ourselves, backed by the powers that be, creating the illusion that Monarch Solutions is working in cooperation with legal authorities. Make no mistake. Although we've been successful thus far, the situation is not stable and it can change quickly. If key parties in the city lose confidence in us and our ability to handle the crisis, our control will erode very quickly. Therefore, we must nurture this relationship even as we conduct our own operations, some of which involve considerable troop mobilization and combat action. This is a constant balancing act, and while I'm confident we can pull it off, there's no room for error. We can't afford to grow complacent or sloppy. Fortunately, we are well prepared for this contingency. Long before we reached this point, we established a good rapport with the Mayor, Riverport PD, and other major authorities within Riverport, as well as most of the important media outlets. Our strategy is twofold. 1. Maintain control. This is a long document. Oh, my throat. It's imperative that we ensure that the city's various power structures remain under our control. This means maintaining a close relationship with numerous individuals and organisations, as well as manipulating the information at their disposal. While Charlie Wincott is unfortunately no longer working on this project due to unforeseen complications, he has set up powerful tools and procedures for scrubbing the internet and identifying and locating problematic situations and individuals. We're stationing people in key locations and maintaining control, often under the guise of advisors and consultants to people in power. They are ready to step in as required. Anybody working in these roles needs to be proactive and project a constant aura of helpful authority and dependability. Diplomacy is the order of the day, people. That's vital for maintaining certain fictions such as Jack Joyce's culpability in the events at the university, etc. 2. Minimise conflict. That is to say, make sure that individuals, whether they're politicians, city officials, police officers, reporters, ordinary citizens, etc., suffer a minimal impact from our activities. If we have to use force, the situation needs to take place out of sight and remain entirely contained. Whether containment means misdirection, coercion, intimidation, bribery, or some other means depends on the circumstances, but it's vital that nobody is left in a position to complain. To be explicitly clear, this doesn't mean we can eliminate witnesses and cover it up. When people don't come home, others start to ask questions, so it has to be a last resort. I expect all supervisors to monitor their teams closely to ensure things stay on an even keel. I know most of our operatives haven't been trained in the soft touch, and I'll be blunt. The last thing we need is somebody thinking this is Afghanistan and smacking a civilian around. We're one YouTube video away from this whole thing blowing up in our faces, so we have to maintain our operational profile throughout. For all of these activities, we have a considerable budget. Monarch Solutions is very well off. We've been building resources for a long time, and this is considered a priority. So we can buy a lot of silence and cooperation from authorities and citizens alike. But that only works as long as those things are for sale. And the moment we're seen as a threat, that opportunity will disappear. If you can see a problem, be proactive and call it in. Don't let anything run out of control or think it'll work itself out. We have to be sure. The situation can unravel faster than we think, and we have to coordinate our activities properly. Any questions or concerns, please contact me sooner rather than later.
Anybody here we can trust?
Fiona. She's my only remaining contact on the
Hey,
inside.
Beast.
What about this Burke guy? He was under arrest in the same transport as me.
Jury's still out on Burke.
Okay. Monarch employee chart. Head of Monarch, Paul Serene, creator of Monarch, believes end of time is inevitable, is building a survival program for a select few. Division leads, Martin Hatch. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Monarch spokesperson, head of security and PR. That's an odd combination of title. Serene's key worker working at Serene, Dr. Sophia Amaral, head of research, specialist in chronon technology, only doctor trained. I'm sorry, I've just realised the headshot for Carlos is just a still from the episode after he shot Burke. Anyway, doing grand. Had your first showcase presentation work? Won't find anything? Good, good. I'm sure it did. Dr. Sophia Amaral, head of research, specialist in chronon technology, only doctor trained to administer Serene's treatment, intimate relations with Serene. I mean, you could just ask her. We've kidnapped her. Dr. Henry Kim, previous head of research, deceased. Key enforcers: Clarice Ogawa, Monarch Dispatcher, allegiance to Martin Hatch, working against Serene. Gibson, head of security, Monarch Enforcer, deceased. Carlos, leader of Reaper Squad, loyal to Martin Hatch, deceased. Potential allies within Monarch: Fiona Miller, Chronon researcher, confirmed ally, working with Beth from the inside. Which, nowhere does it say that on that actual image. Liam Burke, Monarch Fixer, has questioned Monarch agenda extensively, deemed Monarch traitor for assisting in Jack's escape. Charlie Wincott, Monarch hacker, history of allegiance to Martin Hatch, current loyalty unknown. Dick. That's... yes, he is. He is that.
The lifeboat.
Yeah. Well, according to Monarch Communications, Paul Serene just activated that thing.
Far sooner than they were supposed to.
So
what does that mean?
Should be 2 more documents after this.
Means we have less time than I hoped.
Oh, this is a long one. Oh, okay. On the unique nature of the lifeboat by Dr. Sophia Amaral, August 18th, 2016. While the lifeboat protocol is fairly straightforward on the surface, it's important that the people involved with the project understand how it radically differs from other survival scenarios against so-called apocalyptic threats. Stutterproofing. A traditional bunker built to protect the occupants from an environmental hazard, e.g. a chemical attack or nuclear fallout. Gotta go watch Gibbons hair. So I have to go now. Alexis can play through a lot. Sorry, Mr. Wright's path streams today was stressful. No worries. Have a good evening, Gremlin. E.g. a chemical attack or nuclear fallout is typically sealed airtight, and the occupants have their own electricity, air supply, provisions, etc. The bunker's interior is isolated from the outside environment. But the lifeboat's design is different. It's not actually sealed because it doesn't have to be. It does have strong walls and protected access points, but the outside environment is not the problem. It's the lack of the Maya-Joyce field that enables time to exist that makes the outside hazardous. From a technological standpoint, these differences make the lifeboat's operating principles quite different, particularly with regards to maintenance. Compared to, say, the failure of the life support system in a hermetically sealed survival space, such as a bunker, the failure of the lifeboat's stutterproofing system has far more immediate and grave effects. A traditional life support system can be repaired. For instance, a failure in the CO2 scrubbers would pose a significant threat, but with the replacement parts and tools, properly trained occupants could easily repair the system before they would feel any ill effects. In fact, almost any mechanical failure short of a full-scale environmental breach can be fixed as long as suitable repair materials and trained personnel are at hand. But by its very nature, the stutterproofing is different. If it fails, everybody within its area of effect is immediately affected by the zero state and becomes frozen. In a permanent... You admire my ability to read such long passages? How come? It's just reading. In a permanent zero-state scenario, that means they would have no opportunity to ever effect repairs. There's literally no time to react. The only exception would be personnel wearing an activated chronon harness, such as the striker suit, but given that repairing the stutterproofing system is a highly technical, complicated process requiring an exceptional proficiency in the operation and engineering of chronon technology, this would be a scenario with a low probability of success. Your voice gives out. Oh, it's just... I mean, my throat starts to sting about... It started to sting now, actually, but... It's just a practice thing. Obviously, reading stuff out is what I do on this channel, so... Because I am aware that some people have my streams on in the background while they work, so... I don't want them to miss out on anything. It is therefore of utmost importance that the lifeboat stutterproofing operates reliably and without faults, with multiple fail-safe systems, because if it ever fails, it's unlikely that it can be repaired or restarted. Accordingly, once the lifeboat protocol has been activated, there's no real way to deactivate it other than removing the chronon field regulator. This would be highly inadvisable, as doing so could not only disrupt the stutterproofing, but more importantly, without the CFR... Sorry, wind. The lifeboat's rate of chronon particle consumption is increased by a vast margin, effectively reducing its potential operating time to a fraction of what is intended. Unique advantages and risks. We're nearly halfway there. However, it's worth pointing out that even though the lifeboat operation has unique hazards, there are also unique advantages. One such advantage is provisions. A traditional survival scenario in a bunker typically involves a poor quality of meals due to obvious resourcing problems. Anything that spoils easily is out of the question. In a zero-state scenario, however, spoilage becomes a non-issue. Anything stored outside the stutterproofed area remains in perfect condition. This advantage doesn't only apply to comestibles, but also makes the storage of medicine, volatile chemicals, and other similar articles far less of a problem than it otherwise would be. In fact, given the fact that the city of Riverport is vast compared to the relatively small number of people residing in the lifeboat, in theory, Monarch operatives could venture outside the lifeboat in Chronon harnesses and actually enjoy freshly cooked meals simply by entering a restaurant and finding the ready-made dishes that have been prepared, remove them from the zero state to a stutter-proofed area, and enjoy them as hot and delicious as if they'd just been prepared, which, in fact, they of course would be. Although, however, every time I start reading long passages, my view count drops dramatically. So maybe I should take a lesson from that. To be clear, this is not a recommended activity, as it would be a foolish waste of resources to go after individual meals like that. The above scenario is mentioned here merely to illustrate the point. Even though the lifeboat has been designed to operate for decades of subjective time, it doesn't actually need provisions for that long. If the lifeboat's own reserves start to run low, a well-planned supply run into the city could easily result in a great deal of perfectly preserved supplies. 3 paragraphs left, looking at that image on the left-hand half of the screen. Another advantage is that while the situation outside the lifeboat would be dire, people frozen in the zero state would not actually be dead. If a solution is found to the end of time scenario, everybody would resume their everyday lives, most likely with no awareness of time ever having stopped. However, it's hard to know what the exact psychological impact of that knowledge on lifeboat personnel will be. There's a real concern that the pressure of knowing that they have sole responsibility for the survival of the human race, and that there are billions of people outside of the walls of the lifeboat, helpless and unaware, frozen eternally in that last moment, may prove to be crushing for some. On the other hand, knowing that their loved ones are not actually dead and may be saved, and are not in any distress or indeed even aware of the situation, may prove to be a powerful motivating factor that helps us eventually resolve the situation. Of course, the solution to the problem of a permanent zero state is not currently within our reach, and we expect that finding one will take subjective decades if it is indeed possible. We can but try. It's worth noting that since the people outside... There's a word missing there. Outside lifeboats are indeed not dead, merely stopped. It should be possible for a team of personnel wearing Chronon harnesses to exit the lifeboat, retrieve a person, and bring them into the lifeboat. However, I advise against adopting this practice for the occupants. That should forever remain a theoretical scenario. Any situation in which somebody is brought in from the outside would cause undue stress on the occupants, who would at that point have to become acutely aware that their loved ones could be brought in. But since the lifeboat has limited space, Nibbler says hi. Hi to Nibbler. Hope Nibbler's doing well and enjoying all of the extra attention. This could never be allowed. That kind of psychological pressure would likely lead to friction and questions of favoritism, and ultimately increase the risk of mission failure. This is, you know what? This is for Nibbler. Where is it? There it is. That's for Nibbler. Oh, there should be. I think I'm missing a document. I've read that one, I've read that one, I've read that one, I've read that. Oh no, there are only 2 left. Cool. Monarch Mission Statement 1999. Monarch Solutions Mission Statement by Paul Serene, December 12, 1999. Limited distribution for approved employees only. I have seen the path ahead and I know it will be hard. I have founded Monarch Solutions to bring together those who will walk it with me. The elite few whose skill, dedication and passion will live on when everything else ends. To that end, we will work under my guiding vision of the future, my knowledge of what is coming. We accept that we cannot change our fate, nor can we avoid it. It is a harsh truth, but it is the truth. We will accept it and its full implications, but we will not deviate from our course, nor give in to despair, nor give up the fight. Those of us who share in this knowledge, who learn the triumphs and tragedies of the days and years to come, will look past them and find ways to turn them to our advantage. The grey, uncertain area beyond what is known will be where we build our empire, and we build it on the hope that we can persevere, that the end isn't our end, that we can still succeed. 2. We will expand Monarch's influence and power in all possible spheres, financial, political, cultural, medical, technological, military, to the best of our ability. This is a goal unto itself. We will need to be in a position of exceptional resources and ability to act when the time comes. We will build. We will seek success and profit, not for the sake of wealth and fame, but the sake of preparedness. 3. We will develop science and technology to counter a very specific set of circumstances. This will require extensive research and experimentation as well as a tremendous financial cost. We will not be daunted by these challenges. We will complete our work. 4. We will not compromise. We recognize that sacrifice is required, and we are willing to pay the cost to meet our goals. There is no alternative to this. Doubt, qualms, and sentiment are luxuries we cannot afford. Whatever we have to do is a lesser evil than the extinction of the entire human race, and to pretend otherwise is weakness. Nothing in the history of our planet has been as important as this. Nothing we have accomplished as a species matters if we fail in our mission. 5. We will not fail. There will be many challenges in the years ahead. I know what's coming. It can't be averted. There's no escaping it, but we can survive it, and we can overcome it, and we will. I am dedicating myself, this company, and every shred of willpower at my disposal to that mission. I expect the same from those who join me on it. Paul Serene. And last one.
Serene's original manifesto for Monarch.
They had us practically memorize this.
Hundreds of employees. They actually believe all this bullshit?
More than you can imagine.
Monarch Solutions 3-phase plan. Monarch Solutions 3-phase plan table of contents. Phase 1, building an empire. February 28th, 1999 to July 4th, 2010. Formation of Monarch Solutions, lucrative investments, global expansion, employee recruitment. Phase 2, preparing for the future. July 5th, 2010 to October 8th, 2016. Consistency, what is that? Ground Zero buyout, CFR preparation, Chronon tech development, militarization. Phase 3, the Lifeboat Protocol. October 9th, 2016, or 2016, to End of Time. Time Machine core heist, Chronon tech rollout, remove threats to the Lifeboat Protocol, initiate Lifeboat Protocol. So that should be 2 more narrative objects. Yep. And just Chronon sources. Cool. Right, well that's that lore dump. So I need to talk to Amy again, and then I can go back out to the pool area. No, I want Amy, not the email. No, not the email. Amy. Thank you. Oh, Quantum Ripple.
Is the city still hunting for me?
In full force. There's an entire webpage dedicated to potential Jack Joyce sightings. So I've been filling it in with false leads for fun. Do you want to pitch in?
Sure, why
not? Post that I was spotted in the back of a catering van somewhere.
You can do better than that. But okay, I'll let them know.
Nice.
Was that Paul?
That's how he arrived in the past.
How's that possible? It wasn't even the same time machine he entered at the university.
That's one question I still don't have an answer for.
Okay, right, well, where is the thing? It's near the toilet sign. Oh, it's actually in here.
No use going there before talking to Dr. Amaral.
Okay, maybe not. Just gonna have a quick run around. Yeah, but first.
Jack. Hi. It's Will. I guess you're in Thailand by now. I'm not sure if you even still use his number. I don't like how he left things. I've been under a lot of pressure. There's some things I should tell you. I'd like to make it right. Just call me, okay? Please.
Awkward. Alright, I guess I have to talk to Dr. Amaral first, and then go into the toilets room.
How's it look?
The problem is quite simple, really. The power relay is down. You'll need to find a way to reset it up.
Appreciates the love. Good, good.
There. where the light is. I'll lower the ladder for you.
What happened to the power relay?
A power surge occurred at 7 a.m. this morning, when the machine was activated.
Did I do that?
7 a.m. That's hours before we
Nope,
even got
I did
here.
not.
Well, the numbers don't lie.
Okay, I guess I'm doing some climbing.
Sure. Saves me from volunteering.
Sound enthusiastic, why don't you? However, first, can I now go through these doors? All of the lurkers, which is fine. Lurking is fine. There we go. Here it is. There we go.
You've got to be kidding me.
What is it?
This is all my stuff from our family home. Kept everything.
Beth
Guess
just
you thought you might
appearing.
come back. Is that?
Yep. Will's personal psychiatrist. Want to give it a try?
I think that giraffe's holding enough baggage.
Probably. Alright, so this is the actual object anyway.
Jack? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that registered. That's an odd camera angle. I don't like it.
Toto. That's my signature.
You made this?
I've never even been here before.
She's a graffiti artist.
That woman in the picture is you, isn't it? So,
Jack. There's something you should know. 1999. I was 8 years old, playing in my backyard, and a woman approached me, told me she was from the future.
It was you.
She gave me very specific details of events that would come to pass. She gave me this. Filled with dates, events, proof of it all. Jack, that woman.
it was you.
Everything I told myself would happen, did. Every detail, for better or worse, came to pass and couldn't be changed. Our fate is laid out before us, Jack. Everything that happened to get us here, every sacrifice that was made, they're all a part of this path. And they can't be changed or undone.
Beth.
When we step in that time machine, you will see for yourself.
So there's been a lot of graffiti throughout the game that's been like, foreshadowing and stuff.
All right. If you're that sure about how all this works, we can try it your way. It's her. She's the one who's been painting all over the city. Jesus.
Beth told you about how she met herself. She's put the diary down.
Notebook was full of dates, events that would come to pass.
Oh, this is long.
instructions. Her entire existence was formed out of those pages.
That's what she said. Sorry, couldn't resist. Beth's notebook. Beth, I know that this encounter will be a lot to take in. After all, it's not every day you meet your future self. I tell you that you need to keep this all a secret, but I know you won't listen. You'll learn that lesson the hard way. The next few years won't be easy for you. Nobody you know is ever going to understand what you're going through. Those closest to you will try to change you, convince you that you're losing your mind. You're not. You're special. You've been chosen to do something amazing. Know that your struggles will all be worth it in the end because you have a purpose. You're going to save the world. How do I know? I've been through all this before, and I'm going to prove it. Below you'll find a list of events that will come to pass in the future. They cannot be changed or undone. It will take time for you to accept this, but eventually you will learn to use this knowledge to your advantage. You will be prepared for what is coming. October 3rd, 2000. Derek Stevenson has been bullying you for months. On October 3rd, you were pushing down the staircase at school. You'll do everything in your power to resist this, partly to avoid the consequences, partly to prove this book wrong. But the terrible things he will say in that moment will be too much for you to handle. He'll pretend to cry, claim that you gave him a concussion, and you'll take all the blame. You'll be transferred to another school. You'll hope things will get better. They won't. It's going to be a difficult year. Whenever you feel helpless, just remember this book. You are special. You have a purpose that they don't. Hold on to that. And, if it makes you feel better, 16 years from now, Derek will be working at a dollar store. He still lives with his mom. December 3rd, 2000, Mr. Hartzook from next door will pass away. February 3rd, 2001. The kids at school will steal your jacket. Your parents will claim that you're hiding it on purpose so that they will buy you a new one. Look in the bin on the corner of 3rd and Main. You'll find something that will get you through the winter. You'll be teased for wearing it by Michelle. You'll fight back, but it will only make things worse. Eventually, when you're able to contain your anger, take her aside and say the following to her. I'm sorry about your mom, then give her a hug. She will push you away. She will look incredibly confused, vulnerable. She will never tease you again. April 24th, 2001. Erica, your best friend, will break her arm. Having read this, you will do everything in your power to prevent this. The actions you take to avoid this from happening will only make it so. This is the first time you truly witness that your fate is already determined, cannot be changed. Erica will blame you for the incident. Try not to take this to heart. You will soon discover that she isn't the friend you thought she was. Stay strong. You will find people who respect you for who you are very soon. August the 5th, 2001. You will take the night bus home. There will be only one other passenger on board. A scruffy-looking kid with a black eye. His name is Jack Joyce. Remember his face. He's going to become important down the line. See, at the beginning of the game, she said that she'd seen Jack before. That's where. September 11th, 2001. This is the one that will change you. An event will occur that will devastate the entire nation. An act of terrorism that will cause the World Trade Centers to collapse. Thousands will die. I won't go into further detail because the more you know, the more painful it will become when you are unable to prevent it. And you will try to prevent it. You will fail. You will curse this book for not telling you anymore. You will curse yourself for not being able to stop it. It will take a long time to get over this, but eventually you will use this pain to fuel your path forward. You've now felt what it is to be completely unprepared for what is coming. It won't happen again. Next time you will be ready. This is the event that will finally make you believe. Any doubt you had will disappear. You're ready to take on this mission. So what is coming? October the 8th, 2016. An experiment gone wrong will cause time to break down. This event will be referred to as a fracture in time. The onset of this event cannot be prevented, but the outcome must be. If the fracture is not stopped, then time itself will come to an end. Life on our planet will end. Saving the world wasn't an overstatement. It is your mission. You must stop the fracture. You can pull this off, but to do so you need to follow some simple instructions. Learn who to trust. Short answer, nobody. The less people know about you, the safer you will be. From this point forward, your mission takes priority over every other aspect of your life. Do not start a relationship of any kind that you aren't willing to leave behind at a moment's notice. There is one exception to this rule. We'll get to that. Know your enemy. Monarch Solutions. They will try to prevent you from achieving your goal. Learn everything you can about them. You will know the best way to achieve this when the time is right. Monarch is run by a man named Paul Serene. You must never be seen by Paul Serene. If he discovers you, then you will risk failing your mission. Learn everything you can about him. Remain hidden, but keep in mind that the best place to hide is often in plain sight. Blend in. Change your appearance frequently. Hair colour, clothing style, everything. Be cautious about drawing attention to yourself. Learn to blend in. Examine those around you, the way they move, speak, laugh. Copy them. Become your surroundings. Train daily. There are a series of skills you will need to master to truly be prepared. Hand-to-hand combat, Filipino Kali and Jeet Kune Do. Weapons training, knives, pistols, shotguns, rifles. Wilderness survival, compartmentalization, lip reading, face building. The list is one that you will build as you go. In time, you will understand what is necessary and what isn't. Don't rush yourself. Start with gymnastics. Study your target. Jack Joyce. He is the one person who can help you in your mission. He is the exception to Rule 1. You can trust him. Learn what you can about Jack. Study him from afar, but do not approach him directly. You aren't the only one watching him. On October the 9th, 2016, you will rescue Jack Joyce. From there, the next steps will reveal themselves. Be patient with him. He's stubborn, reckless, naive. But you can't do this without him, and he has his moments. He's much smarter than he seems at first. Don't mistake grief for stupidity. Study your objective. The countermeasure. This is the device that was built to stop the fracture in time. This is your objective. Find the countermeasure and use it to stop the fracture. Achieve this and the world will be saved. The device was built by Jack's brother, Dr. William Joyce. Any attempt to contact William or find the countermeasure before the onset of the fracture will be in vain. Wait. Jack will show you the way. Retrieving the countermeasure will not be a simple task. It will involve great hardship and sacrifice. When the time comes, you will be ready for this. When you first read this, it won't make much sense to you. Over time, you will believe every word, but you will feel underprepared. You will wish that I had told you everything. I promise you that what is written here is everything you will need in order to get you where you need to be. I know this, because I'm already there. Chin up, Toto. You're going to achieve amazing things. You. And then... just going to follow her into the bathroom, I guess.
Looks climbable.
%. Please. Thank you. That was weird.
Why the hell would your brother put maintenance controls way up there?
That's exactly the kind of question that never would have entered Will's mind while building this thing. Hey, I think I can get to the reset from here. Of course.
Still getting used to that.
Don't expect to.
That's a black hole. Well, miniature black hole.
Having trouble getting to that red light up there?
It's easier said than done.
No pressure. Just the fate of the world.
Stepping on anything that... Oh, you're already there. Well, good work.
Kind of feel like I came at this out of order. Can't tell if that's a light or a thing.
Okay. The console here's got 2 red lights, 1 green one.
You'll have to reset the power
That's
to
a
the
light.
2 stations with the red lights before activating the relay. Both stations are located above the machine. Just follow the cables to the red lights.
Above the machine. Perfect place for a reset switch, Will.
I mean, I guess I could have just walked up the ladder also. That would have, yeah, that would have worked too. This was more interesting though. Where's the thing? Oh, is it way up there? Am I below it? I think I'm below it. That's where I'm getting confused. Okay, right, well, I need to get back over there. Yep. Guess I'll go the long way around. Huh. Nope. Climb the ladder again. Yeah, I just walked off. I don't know why I didn't come up here. There it is. So that should be... Yep, 100%. Cool.
What have we got here?
Oh, no. Beep.
Okay, the first red light is now green.
On the other side. Oh, of course. How do I get to that, though? Almost fell in the time machine. That's not it. Up there? How the heck do I get up there? Oh. Might be way simpler than I'm thinking. Yep, sure is. I did the overthinking thing again. Boop.
Alright, all lights are green.
Sorry, beep, beep, beep. That's the hacking noise. Sorry, he was hacking then. Don't question it.
Chronon levels are stable. Diagnostics are positive. This may actually work. It's ready. It's actually functional.
Okay, we're doing this. I'll set the date into the console. July 4th, 2010.
They cannot take our independence.
Are you ready?
No. Are you?
No, but it's time machine. It's time travel, so we'll do it.
This is it. There's no turning back.
Hey, wait! What did you do? That was the wrong door. You changed the date. Where is she? Where is she?
I had no choice. I couldn't let you take the countermeasure. It would put our entire plan at risk. I already called Monarch from the terminal. They're on their way. It's over. What did you do?
Fuck!
We need the countermeasure to run the lifeboat.
So it's a Monarch.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna follow through with the plan. Tie her up and get as far away from here as you can.
I will. You just take care of yourself, Jack. Okay?
Time travel. So, clockwise you go forwards in time, anti-clockwise you go backwards in time. That's cool. I dig it. Kind of wish he'd move a bit faster, if I'm being honest.
Your first journey back in time, 2010. This is where our notes get hazy.
You know how it ended.
Your goal when you arrived was to retrieve the countermeasure.
But my goal had to wait. Because I wasn't alone.
To Beth Wilder from William Joyce, July 4th, 2010. The countermeasure. It's finished. It's officially finished. Tests are all positive. I have officially constructed a working countermeasure for a fracture in time. I can't prove it, obviously, since there's no fracture to deploy it against, but I believe it will work. It will work. It has passed every test I can conceive. There's no reason I can't see that it wouldn't. Given your knowledge of the future, I'm guessing you already knew this would be the date I completed my work. This day has been a long time coming. I was beginning to doubt it's possible. I haven't heard from you in almost 2 years now. Please tell me you're still out there. To William from Beth, I am now going to ask you to do something that will sound counterintuitive. Leave the workshop. Leave the countermeasure behind and do not return until tomorrow morning. As with all of my orders, it is best that I don't go into further detail. Okay, leaving the workshop now. The countermeasure is secured in my safe. I know better than to ask the reasoning behind this request. In 11 years, you've never been wrong, and I don't want to know about the future anyway. But that won't make this easier for me to digest. Can we meet tomorrow? Now that the device is complete, I need to know what the next steps are. And please be careful with the countermeasure. It's tremendously powerful, and sourcing the chronon particles for it alone has taken over a decade. Rebuilding would take me years and years.
Hey, Bobby Radford coming at you on 4th of July. And what a fine day it is,
That's a
too.
good picture.
Things are looking up for Riverport. Don't believe me? Just look at that shiny new Monarch building going up. That's a big deal for this town.
Going up,
sure.
up,
I know there's been complaints, talking about how Monarch's tearing down this or that, taking over the mom and pop spots, making Riverport more corporate. Some of that's happening. It ain't all good. A huge corporation like that, you know, they're all about power and profit. But I say, hold on there. Put it in perspective. This town's been miserable for a long time. A long time. When our shipbuilding industry took that final nosedive, we hit one hell of a slump. A lot of people I know have been unemployed for years now, and that's hard. But Monarch's here. And they're starting to change that big time. So they ain't perfect. So what? It beats the alternative. I want to be optimistic about this. It ain't wrong to have a little hope for the future. I want to believe that this is capitalism working as intended, you know? The American way, you could say.
Sorry. I tried to keep straight face.
What the? Someone's in here.
I was gonna say it's good shots. I give the game one thing: they've mastered the look of concern on the protagonist's face. Yup. Just considering this came out in 2016, the facial animation is so good.
The fuck are they shooting at?
Sean Ashmore just has a naturally concerned face, I believe, though. All of the particle effects are so good. It's Beth! Bang! Bang, bang, bang!
Beth?
It's me. Hey, 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 hey.
What happened to you?
This is it.
That was
Since we're
hell.
back. Jack?
Yeah, that'd be creepy. Not knowing what's gonna happen. Actually, she's wearing an anti-stutter thing. Would that not stop her going back a few times?
Dr. Emerald sent me to the future. I fought for months trying to find a way to get back.
Let's go to the end of time.
I wasn't the only one.
Full serene.
Stop! I followed him back.
Oh yeah, stock sound effects are always really jarring.
He set William's machine to 1999. The first possible exit point.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Ah, it's okay. I'm on your side.
Who are you?
I'm Beth Wilder. There's some things you need to know.
Time's going to end. Only you
You're
can
the
stop
reason
it.
you built the countermeasure. And you've been here ever since. 11 years. Why? Why didn't you come back?
We should get ready. We don't have much time.
Because she couldn't come back. Jack, she's stuck. She couldn't get back to the future. I said the thing.
She had changed. And there was a weight in her eyes. She was hiding something.
She always was. What exactly do you believe changed in Beth?
So long.
She lost hope.
Beth's journal. February 28th, 1999. Back in time. Here I am. Back in a time I've already lived once before. No idea how long I need to stay here. No idea what comes next. This isn't how it was supposed to go. This wasn't the plan. If I'm going to come to terms with that, then I'm going to need to write it all down. There's nobody to tell this to but myself. So, hello me. Again. This all started back in 2016. Jack and I kidnapped Dr. Amaral. We were supposed to use the time machine to travel back to 2010 and retrieve the countermeasure. I believe Dr. Amaral switched the date at the last moment. I heard Jack calling out, but it was too late. I was already inside. There was nothing to do but keep moving forward, and when I exited the corridor, I arrived in the one place I never thought possible. The end of time. My greatest fear was realized. I'm still trying to grasp what that means. My entire life has been devoted to stopping the fracture. What I saw was... Was it proof it couldn't be stopped? I can't believe that. There's a logic to all of this, a meaning. I just haven't found it yet. I'm not ready to write down details of the end of time. Not yet. The essential part of the story is that I found a way back. I spent a long time trying to fix William's machine, but somebody beat me to it. He set a course to the earliest time the machine could operate. The first time the core was activated, February 28th, 1999. I followed him through. That's when I found William. Still alive, much younger than I'd ever seen him. I warned him about the fracture. I told him that he was the only one who could create a solution. He begged me not to tell him anything else about the future. He said he couldn't stand living like that. Being constantly aware of what will come to pass, is every action just part of the preordained dance? I wanted to tell him more, but I knew how he felt. William agreed to do what must be done. He agreed to build the countermeasure. This whole time it was me who set him on that path. He says the machine doesn't have the sufficient chronon capacity to return me to the future. He says a jump that far would be nearly impossible without a substantial scientific breakthrough. Apparently that hasn't happened yet. That's his way of saying I'm trapped. In 1999. Second time around. So, here I am. July 19th, 1999. The time machine move equals success. I worked with Will to get the time machine moved. Had to make sure Serene wouldn't be able to use it to his advantage, so we moved it to the one place I knew it would be safe. Bradbury swimming pool. Will spent a big chunk of his research grant buying the property. It's the one place I know for sure that Monarch won't find us. After all, they still weren't aware of it in 2016. That means this is my new home for the time being. Will refuses to build the countermeasure here. He says that it has to be done at his workshop. He chose that location to build the time machine for a reason. Something about abnormal chronon density, air anomalies, whatever. Didn't seem to concern him that the very people we need to hide from know about his workshop. Probably doesn't help that he won't let me tell him who those people actually are. Guy's almost as stubborn as his brother. Now that the move is complete and Will is on his way, all I can do is wait. Not liking the idea of that. Keeping busy was the only thing that distracted me from the eerie nature of being trapped here. Guess I should look at the bright side. Second chance at having a killer Y2K party. September 5th, 1999. Little me. The most surreal experience. Her eyes looked so full of life, looking to the clouds invulnerable to the world around her. She looked full of life. She looked happy. It was me. I knew the day was coming. I knew that I had to go see her and set her on her mission so that she would do what needed to be done, so that someday she would become, well, me. She was in the backyard, bright red duffel coat playing. Simple pleasures. It's strange. I remember the small details so differently the first time around. When I was a child, that woman who came to see me seemed like an angel, a limitless source of wisdom gifting me with purpose. Now I was that woman. Trembling, a lump in my stomach, nervous as hell. It didn't matter. I knew she was too young to see those things on my face. I gave her the notebook. I told a small child to give up those simple pleasures to pursue a life that would bring nothing but pain and hardship. I promised her that it would all be worth it, that she would make a difference, that she would save the world. She believed me. January 1st, 2000. Epic Y2K party. Ate bagels with cream cheese and watched Buffy reruns in a drained swimming pool. Party on. September 11th, 2001. 9/11. I tried to stop it a second time. I warned them, told them exactly what was going to happen. Nothing changed. I came to terms with the fact that none of this could be changed as a child, but since then I've seen things that made me desperate to prove myself wrong, desperate to believe that what I've seen cannot come to pass. I tried to stop the rise of Monarch. I tried to stop Paul Serene, both versions of him. Every action was negated by the force of a timeline that cannot be bent or broken. This is heavy? It is, and this is exactly why I read everything. I've tried to stop tragedy as well. Jack's parents, Christmas of '99. I knew what happened to them. This time I was there. Car crashed exactly as it was supposed to. Better go sort out some food. Later, mate. See you, dude. Enjoy your food. My presence only led it to happen as it always did. I went to the funeral. I watched Jack cry. I watched Will build up a wall around himself. I watched two brothers change forever in that moment, and I could do nothing about it. And now this. Fuck. May 22nd, 22, I guess. 2002? 2002. Monarch, they spotted me near William's workshop. Barely got out of there alive. After all this time, Serene is still obsessed with finding me. He won't give up until he does. Have to be more careful in the future. May 22nd, 2003. The end of time. Been having recurring nightmares about what I saw. I've been dreading doing this, but it's time. I have to write it out. It's the only way to move past it. In 2016, I entered the time machine, intending to travel back to 2010. That didn't happen. Dr. Amaral changed the date. When I exited the machine, I arrived at the end of time. The fracture had run its course. Time had stopped altogether. The entire world was frozen in one hanging moment. I was the only one still able to function. Or so I thought. Then the shifters came. I can still hear them. Their sounds echo through my dreams. The entire world was still. Except me. They really don't like movement. I'd stepped out of the machine into the one thing I spent my entire life trying to prevent. The fracture was never fixed. I was living through the proof. The first hours were the hardest. I was living through a nightmare that I couldn't wake up from, surrounded by constant reminders that my mission would fail. Never able to stay in one place because the shifters were always searching, always hunting. I wasn't alone. I discovered the few evidence of this a few days in. I heard the shifters become agitated, but I was nowhere near them. They were following somebody else. Paul Serene, a younger Paul, scared, weak, vulnerable. He found me, tried to convince me that we needed to work together, to help each other through. He found out very quickly that I wanted him dead. He had no training, no killer instinct, but he had those damn powers, and all I had was the Chronon harness. The end of the world, the only two people left, and we became sworn enemies. I can't be sure how long we spent there. Could have been months, could have been years. When time doesn't move, it feels like an eternity. Our grip on reality slipped away, trapped in an endless loop of brutal survival. Though we were enemies, there was a strange bond formulated through that suffering. We've shared an experience that no other human has ever endured. Eventually, Paul managed to get William's time machine working. He was convinced that he needed to travel back to the earliest possible point in order to stop this all from happening. He had yet to learn that the past couldn't be changed. I followed him through the machine, but he escaped. He formed Monarch. He built an empire. I watched the birth of a monster. I can't escape the feeling that my actions helped shape what he became. Maybe I could have guided him. Maybe if I hadn't tried to hunt him down and kill him at the end of time. That can't be my part in all of this. There has to be more. I wake up in a cold sweat most nights. I hear the shifters coming. I can almost feel their presence. Much of my experience at the end of time has become a blur in my memory, but there is one detail that I can't shape. One detail that brings my entire mission into question. One detail that haunts me. 2021. February 3rd, 2005. Hobbies. 5 years until the countermeasure will be complete. I spend most of my days training. I don't know what happens once the device is finished, but being prepared is my specialty. I still wonder if Jack will follow the plan, if he'll emerge from that machine in 2010. Best not to think about it. I'm not giving up, but I can't let these thoughts consume me. I need to focus on the present. Focus on what is in front of me. That's the mantra that keeps me going. Just focus on the present. So I decided to take on some hobbies. Tried poetry. Got depressed. Dabbled with the guitar for a while. Smashed it against the wall. Then I started experimenting with graffiti. Seems to be working out okay for me so far. It's fulfilling on a few different levels. Partly as a form of self-expression, partly as a means of release. Partly just to fuck with people. What happens when Joe analyzes some graffiti on a wall one day, builds an interpretation in his head, and then 3 years later his depiction of that image comes true? Not sure, but it's fun to think about. I can't change anything, but at least this gives me the illusion of some kind of power. That illusion is what keeps me holding on. Sometimes I leave anonymous notes in people's mailboxes telling them what will happen next week. I watch their reactions from afar. Voyeurism and graffiti. That's my life these days. Focus on the present. October 8th, 2007. Jack. I started watching him recently. I know Monarch is tracking him, so I keep my distance. I wasn't sure why I felt a need to follow him, to watch his life from the outside, but now I think I understand. I met Jack in the wake of his brother's death, the onset of the fracture. Worst day of both of our lives. He was broken. That's the only Jack I ever knew. There's some kind of comfort in seeing him in happier lives. In happier times, even. I watched his band play a gig nearby. Atrociously bad, whiny emo music. Definitely music movement I didn't need to live through a second time, but there was something pure about seeing him up there, letting it all out. He never had an easy life. It was nice to see that he found a way to release all that. He just looked happy. It made me forget everything else. The nightmares stopped for a while after that, so I kept following him. It gave me something to focus on. I've spent most of my life hiding who I am, what I know. I knew Jack for less than 24 hours, but he's the only person I've opened up to about everything. I told him the truth. He believed me. I wish I could thank him for that. I'm not sure what I'm going to tell him if he comes through that machine on July 4th, 2010. What will he think when he sees me? 11 years will have passed. I look like I've aged 3 lifetimes since then, and for him it could only be a matter of minutes. What do I say? That I saw the end? That this might all be for nothing? I was the one who believed without question that it would stop the fracture. That confidence has now been replaced with insecurity, weakness. I fear letting him see that. I fear that he'll see the doubt in my eyes. For years I felt invincible, full of hope. I'm not that woman anymore. I'm scared. December 11th, 2007. Memory. Tonight I painted something at the university campus. It was only after I finished and took a step back to look at it that I realised I've seen it before, about a decade ago. Remains of something painted on a wall but washed away. It was a jolt. Is all of this futile? Nothing sticks. Nothing is changed. All of it washed away by the river of time. Fucking time travel. July 9th, 2008. Will. I've been in contact with Will every 6 months or so. Short exchanges just to get an update on his progress building the countermeasure. He's still at least 2 years away from completion, but he's now confident that he knows how the countermeasure will work. He told me that the countermeasure will be able to reverse a fracture in time, but in order to do so it must be activated early in the escalation of the fracture. Once the fracture runs its course, once the end of time is reached, he believes the countermeasure will be rendered ineffective. I asked him what it would mean if the end of time ever occurred. He said it would mean that the fracture was never stopped. It would mean that we failed. July 21st, 2008. Everything I have done has been for nothing. July 4th, 2010. Final entry. The day is here. Soon I will receive word that William has completed the countermeasure. I'm sure of it. I've come to accept that this doesn't mean we will succeed. I've come to accept that my mission was a lie. But I'm not giving up. Lie or not, I devoted my life to this cause. It gave me meaning. It's all I've ever known. Even if I've seen the proof that I won't succeed, I'm not giving up. I will dedicate every ounce of courage I have left to seeing this through. I'll retrieve the countermeasure. I'll keep it safe until 2016. I will do everything in my power to activate it when the time comes. I will fail. But I will fail knowing that I did everything in my power to save the world. For years, I hoped that this would be the day when I would see Jack again. I've given up that hope. This mission started with me alone. That's how it will end. This will be my final entry. Well, that took nearly 10 minutes to read. 20 minutes to read, but I hope everyone enjoyed that. There is a Chronon source outside this room. Here. There it is. Kind of concerned. I guess I was reading so long the game's forgotten to play audio. On the right through the target practice room. Yeah, but like, where did she go? Oh, here we go.
11 years.
11 calendars. Locker room at the base of the stairs.
I'll unlock the door.
Thanks.
So where's Will? Where's the countermeasure?
The countermeasure's at William's workshop, where he built it.
Then that's where we go.
Yes. That was the plan.
What's the plan?
Just have to unlock this.
But it's not the plan any longer?
My supplies are upstairs. We'll need to get them. There's so much you don't know that you never saw. I gave up on the idea that you would ever come.
It's supposed to be in here? Okay, right, well these are collectibles apparently, so... Or something I can look at.
What's going on here? Since when did Will run a graffiti workshop? None of this crap was here in 2016.
No, it's Beth's stuff, you idiot.
It's this way.
I need to know we're still in this together.
I told you once our fate is already laid out for us.
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Still believe that. More than ever. I'm just worried that might mean.
Gosh darn it, I have 5. 2 more collectibles in this part. Best new 2010 plant in the dining room. Gear up. Check the plant on the table.
It means we finish this.
I assume it's these 2 things.
You need gear? Take whatever you need. The rest of it's going in the river. Along with everything else I brought here.
Weird slidey animation.
That's a little drastic.
My time here is done, Jack. I have to erase my presence. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah, these are the last 2 collectibles.
Okay. The countermeasure's at Will's workshop. We find it, then what?
You bring it back here, use the machine, and return to the future. Use it to stop the fracture. That was always the plan.
That is still the plan.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Ready when you are, Jack.
She's a beaten woman.
You followed Paul to 1999. Why did he travel so far back?
To form Monarch. Prepare for what's coming.
You kept tabs on him.
And he's kept tabs on me.
Rise of Monarch whiteboard. March 1999, Monarch formed. CEO never disclosed. Lucrative investments, all based on Serene's future knowledge. August 2000, Monarch spotted following William Joyce. Monarch is following William throughout Riverport. No longer safe to keep in direct communication. May 2001, Martin Hatch hired. First listing of Martin Hatch on employee chart. No details available on Hatch prior to this. May 2002, Monarch patrolling workshop. Monarch spotted me near Will's workshop, barely escaped alive, must avoid workshop area. August 2003, Monarch on Fortune 500. Well positioned on Fortune 500. Investments have stopped, PR campaign has begun. February 2005, spotted by Monarch. Monarch still searching for me, must stay out of public eye from this point forward. March 2006, R&D facility commissioned. Gull Island, must investigate further. October 2006, Martin Hatch promoted. Martin Hatch now designated Monarch spokesperson. Previous spokesperson found dead. Every promotion Hatch receives results from a trail of blood. May 2008, Monarch Tower construction. Construction begins on Monarch Tower. December 2009, Monarch investigated Will's workshop. Monarch personnel spotted covertly entering Will's workshop. They may know what we're up to. Monarch security cameras now surround workshop. Approaching area will alert Serene. March 2010, Monarch Chronon Tech delayed. Monarch Chronon Tech research under Dr. Kim not proceeding as planned. Not enough Chronon particles available. Ground Zero not present. December 2010, Dr. Sophia Amaral recruited, hired as Chronon research scientist. On. We in July of 2010? Okay. Right, I will be taking... Oh, it's full ammo? Yeah, no, I'm keeping the LMG. I'm good with the tactical assault rifle. I'll take the heavy pistol if you've got one. So, heavy pistol, tactical SMG, and LMG. Cool. That's everything? That's everything.
I can't imagine what happened to you. When you entered that machine, I wanted to go after you, but I didn't know where Sophia sent you or how to find you.
You made it here. It's all that matters. You followed the plan.
Whatever happened to you, change it.
Don't.
We can fix this.
Don't.
We can undo this.
You still don't get it. It can't be changed. No matter what we do, the pieces fall in all of the exact same places. I've tried. Over and over.
I can't just sit back and do nothing.
You have to let go. Jack. You have to let go. I've seen it. The end of time. That is where she sent me. I was there. I've been fighting this fight my entire life, and I saw us fail. I saw where this leads.
It'll be fine, we'll fix it.
I just don't know anymore. I don't know if we can win this thing.
We can try. And that's what matters.
Then we'll die finding out.
You do not put your finger on the trigger of a gun unless you plan to fire it. You rest it alongside the barrel. Or across the trigger guard. You might overwhelm use time rush to hide from or confuse your enemies. Hey, where'd he go? I don't know. He was right there a minute ago. All done? Great. I was going to wrap up as soon as this loaded in, so thank you for letting me know.
I don't know a fraction of the hell that Beth went through. What she experienced when she saw the end of time, how that changed her, like it changed Paul. Followed by 11 years of living like a ghost. Beth I'd known had laser focus. This Beth, she had doubts.
Which is fair.
You okay?
Yeah.
The countermeasure. The one thing that could set things right was waiting for us at Will's workshop.
There it is.
In 2010, Monarch didn't own the area yet. That came shortly after because of what happened with you. But we knew William was building something new in his workshop, and we knew it must be important. We were monitoring the place.
Yeah, Beth knew about your presence. She'd done spying on her own. We came over the rooftops to avoid detection.
You done? Okay, cool. Wow, that is a nice, healthy 3/4 of the game exactly completed. Which is concerning, because there are 3 levels left. So, as I say, Act 1 has 4 parts. This is Part 4. And then there's Junction 4. And then there are 3 parts in Act 5. So I guess there are five levels left in 1 TV show. On 1 more Ripple, 4 more Intel pieces, 13 more Chronon sources, 10 documents, 12 computers, and 4 media pieces. Which means also have a lot of audio diaries to listen to tomorrow, I guess. 3, 6, 8. Cool. 9 to start tomorrow's stream with. But that's it for today. I'm still really enjoying this game. Hopefully finish it tomorrow, if not on Friday. And then we'll take it from there. Hoping to get RE3, but no promises because money situation is tight. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you've watched this on YouTube, whatever, I hope or if you've been watching this on Twitch, whatever, I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to be awesome and love yourself. Because in these trying times where we're almost entirely confined to our homes, we have to be reminded that sometimes we are allowed to love ourselves as well. See ya.